All right, we are officially live. Hey guys, Kayak Mike here. I'm here with Alva Jones. He is technically the director of the Hoover Bank event that's coming up on September 20th. Oh, hold on. I can never just do one of these and have nothing go wrong. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yes.
All right, you can hear me fine. I had my extra speaker set up on my computer. Alva's
And you
going
know
to take.
what? The cool thing is now we all know you're human.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Alva's going to introduce himself here in a second while I get this blasted out to all the Facebook pages, and then we'll go over sponsors, rules of the event, and then we will go into like the special stuff about the event. All right, go ahead. You take it from here, Alva.
All right. So, hi everybody. Just want to start out. God bless America. And to all the people that lost their lives on this day several years back. That's the reason why we all have the opportunity to be here today. So God bless everybody. So if you know or don't know me, I'm Alva Jones. Um, Kind of want to address one thing that is going to come up several times throughout this process of me getting this going. Why am I doing this? I have a boat, and I can tell you, frankly, I'm pretty active. I've only been fishing Hoover for about a year, but I watch, and immediately I was brought in by the community to immediately help me catch fish. And as I watch and read Facebook and all these other threads on Facebook, I noticed that bank guys just don't have that same community or that same opportunity that we as boat guys and kind of share. I see, bank guys post stuff, but there's no real group. And at the end of the day, I love fishing and I want to bring whatever I can to the table to help everybody catch fish. Um, it one of it's ego. We all have that, but the other is a sense of accomplishment, helping others. And I'm hoping that if I help one person get that PB or whatever, I did a good thing for the day. So that being said, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm super stoked about this. This is definitely my first time doing anything like this as far as organizing. I apologize if I'm going to make mistakes. That's why I got Kayak Mike to enforce the rules. Everything else is on my end. So however you want to go from here, Kayak, we're good.
All right, you said everything beautifully. Great introduction. Let me pull up my screen here. We will do a quick shout out to all the sponsors. Can you do Remax first? There is a sponsor from Remax. It's your realtor.
Yes, big shout out to Brianne Aerosmith. She was actually my personal real estate agent a couple years back. Phenomenal. She's local here in Central Ohio, and she wants to be involved. Her and her family are big outdoors people, and we were talking about it. She's like, How can I be involved?" I said, "Well, I'm doing this tournament. Throw us some dough." So she went out and spent, a fair amount of money on lots of terminal tackles specific for bank anglers that we're going to be giving away after the tournament. So big shout out to Brienne.
That's awesome. And then stay tuned. After we run through the sponsors and the rules, we're going to talk about where the post-event check-in and stuff is going to be. But you got to
Yep,
stay tuned to get to that. Next
right.
sponsor we have, everyone knows this guy from the national scene. Adam Flegel has tossed in $100. I believe it's just we use it as we see fit. So Alva's going to utilize that money greatly for the tournament. Shout out to Adam Flegel. Flegel's not even like he can't even really benefit from this
He
business
lives in
wise.
Kansas.
Yeah, he lives over in Kansas. He's just a great supporter of the scene. If you guys have ever seen our trophies or our plaques, he has supplied all those throughout the year. Real quick, I donated 5 bump boards for rent for the tournament. Moving on, Sambucas. That's where you can buy the raffle tickets for the free kayak that's being raffled off at this event. We're gonna touch on that more later. Sambucas in Ohio, I believe you said
Galena.
Galena, Ohio. They do have a
Just on the north side of Hoover, right? Basically, right on the north side of where we're all going to be fishing.
Yep. It's sambucasgreenhouse.com if you want to see their market online. Chasing Cats Outdoors is giving, I want to say, tackle out. Are they giving a rod or just tackle? I forget.
Yeah, Rod, he put that in the mail, I believe, today. So Rod, and then lots of terminal tackle as well.
Fantastic. Micah Burkhart put in $500 into this event, that's actually sick. He's liked a few of my posts here and there. I've liked a few of his post video there, here and there, and videos and stuff. I've never actually had an opportunity to speak with him, so I'm not going to like pretend that we're quote unquote friends, but we're definitely colleagues in a certain extent that we both do the YouTube and all that fun stuff. So giant shout out to him. That's really cool that he's getting involved.
Awesome guy. Awesome
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, that's real. Like that's phenomenal. That's insane. That's phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I'll be reaching out to him and Matt Knight on the back end to thank them in a special way too as well. So thank you very, very much, Mika. And again, that $500 will be 100% given it to the anglers in some way or another. We might purchase more stuff to give away to the anglers. We might just give it out as straight cash to the anglers. That's going to be determined by the administrators on the back end. And the kayak company that's supplying the kayak is being raffled off is a New Canoe Unlimited, which is the tournament standard in the kayak world. Extremely stable. Honestly, the kayaks of today are essentially one-man boats. So Raccoon Creek Outfitters, they are the ones, they're not giving us the kayak per se, but they are the ones we are purchasing it off of. I'm assuming, I didn't purchase it, but I'm assuming some kind of hookup was given. So shout out Dustin Hoy, the owner of Raccoon Creek Outfitters.
Well,
Now,
not to interrupt, but that is through Kayakers.
cool, Catyackers,
We
yes.
just agreed with them that we would do the raffle at our awards event. So Kayakers, that's kind of their involvement as far as the raffle part of it.
Correct. Yackers is the one who purchased the kayak, and then anything above that's made is going to go towards their trail that they're holding in 2026.
Correct.
The Facebook page, if you look up Cat Yackers Lounge or just Cat Yackers Outfitters, this is both their pages and their group. And now let's get into the heart.
You got Monster Cats, Joe Hatfield and Monster Cats donating the two rod and reels for the top two females.
Joe Hatfield is donating through the Hoover Cats 2 rods and reels for the top 2 females, right? Is that what you just said?
Correct.
Got it. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot being given away here.
Oh, yeah.
And I've said this in the past. I'm pretty bad every now and then at plugging everybody, so I do apologize. But I think we got them all in this one.
I think so, yeah.
I think we got them all in this
so
one.
So far,
yeah. And they're
I urge people, if you're not signed up, get signed up, because when I'm speaking to these people about sponsorships, I've got 87 as of like 20 minutes ago. I had 87 people that were interested in my initial post, but I only have 15 people that are signed up. When I go to these sponsors, I got to have some real numbers, because it's much easier to say, I've got real 85 people that are fishing this.
Mm-hmm.
So help me help you get in their pockets a little deeper.
Absolutely. Yeah, numbers in the tournaments definitely helps when we're speaking to the tournament sponsors. Got the sponsors, we got that. Now let's go into the heart of how to utilize the app, etc. So everything you guys see me do on my app or on the Fishing Chaos app here will look the same exact way on your phone. It's just going to be a little smaller on your phone. So you're going to want to download the app, and then in the top left, there'll be a create profile. You're going to want to create your profile. I strongly suggest adding a picture to your profile. That will let me know for sure you signed up correctly. If you don't have a profile picture, I don't know if you just don't have a profile picture or if there's an issue with your registration. Because if you go to sign up and there's an issue with your registration, then there will be no profile picture. So that kind of helps me know if there's an issue with the registration. So create your profile, add your personal information. When you download the app, remember, hit yes to everything. Yes to GPS, yes to timestamps. If it asks you a question, hit yes to everything. The way you find our community, on the left-hand side here, you might have a little cog that you have to click on, but on the left-hand side here, it'll say Trail Club. You're going to want to click on the Trail Club. Up here on search, You'll just start typing the word online catfishing tournaments. We are the King Cat / online catfishing tournaments. This is where you find our club. Now, people who are just fishing the bank event this year, don't worry about the membership. That's waived. You don't have to be a member this year. In the future, 2026 and going forward, you will have to be. That's insurance, etc. But for the first bank event that we're holding this year at Hoover, don't worry about this. You do not have to be an annual member. To find the tournament, you will go over to tournaments. You'll scroll down to the very bottom. Hoover Bank Series. The app is broken up into series, and then when you click on the series, it will take you to all the tournaments. For instance, I'll just give you a quick example: the King Cat series. You click on here, you're going to see the next tournament, and these are all the tournaments that we have done in the past. So the Hoover Bank series, when you go to the bottom, you're going to click on it. There's only one event because we're only doing one bank event so far this year. The Hoover Bank Event 9/20/2025. You go ahead and click on that. I'm on my computer. If it says this to you, that means you don't have it turned on. You're going to have to re-download the app and say yes to all the requirements. So I'm already registered. Right here, there would be a register button. On your phone, it'll probably be right in the middle. It's a bright green button that says register, and it's very self-explanatory. I don't have to walk you through the register. If you bought anything online ever, it's very simple. You hit register. For me, you click on the $25 fee, and then you pay. There is a $3 app fee for transparency. There's a $3 app fee that the app charges. That is not, we aren't charging any sort of administration fee, any sort of member fee, nothing. This is completely free out of our pockets. We are just doing this for the anglers. But I do need to be transparent and say the app itself is going to charge you $3. Because that's just you don't get stuff like this for free. That's just the cost of doing business and having tournaments online. So you will be charged $28 total dollars. $25 will go to the pot. $5 going to go to Big Fish. $20 going to go to the pot. And then once you're registered, give the app a second to refresh. Then you click on Angler Roster, and you'll be right here. Now, if you need to learn how to submit fish and stuff, I'm going to give you a couple ways just in case you're out on the water. And you need to, let's say, you can't get, because I'll be in Missouri at this time. During this tournament, I will actually be in Missouri. You're going to want to go to the Online Catfishing Tournaments YouTube page. Click on Playlists. Scroll down. Go to 2025 Important Videos. Hit that. Once you're there, you don't have to worry about the first two videos because you've already learned how to register and you don't have to be a member. Go to the third video right here, How to Picture Catfish and the legal measuring devices in our scene, and then how to submit catfish. So if you're curious on what the picture standards are or how to submit a photo in real time, let's say you're on the water in real time and you can't remember, those two videos are what you need to see. You don't have to worry about the measuring device. We'll go over that later in the video. But those two videos will walk you through everything just in case you're in a pinch and you need to figure it out right away and you can't get a hold of me at Alva for whatever reason. Now I'm going to walk you
Can't get a
through.
hold of me because I'm reeling in a fish.
Yeah, you can't go Alva because he's reeling a fish. Now I'm going to go over those two things in this video as well. But I just in case you guys need somewhere to find it, you can find it right there. In this particular event, we are not forcing the muskie bumper. We prefer you have a muskie bumper, which you can find at fishbumper.com. Any bump board on this website's legal in any event that we host. So I strongly advise you get one of these. For catfish, go to muskie, and then you want to get one of these three. I always use, and they have a trifold one that I've been testing out that I don't think they actually have for sale yet. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it just was posted yesterday that it's available.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I just don't see it. It's on here somewhere then. But they have a really big one. They have a bump and go is probably perfect for the bank angler because it's just a single 60-inch board, one single cut in the middle, fold it in half. So there's your bump and go. It's only $65. That's really, really not that bad for the quality of the board that you're going to get. Also, 5 of these will be with Alva. Alva actually might have 11 or so for rent or for borrowing at the event. Just hit him up beforehand. I donated 5, and Joe said he has like 6.
So 2 of the 5 that you donated are going to be giveaways at the end of the event. So technically, I'll only have 3 to do lending as far as these boards. But Joe's got 5 or 6 or 7 homemade boards that I actually physically used and started with. They work fine. They're just heavy and bulky. but they are lender boards. So
Mm.
it's basically first come, first serve on those. I also have my own personal one that I will lend out. But I urge you to, if you plan on ever fishing another one of these types of tournaments, get one of these boards that he's recommending now because they're accepted on every platform.
Yeah, they are
That's the one.
universally accepted in every catfishing tournament that is a link
Absolutely.
tournament. So you can't if you buy this, you'll always be good in my scene. I will never not outlaw this board. It is permanently always going to be allowed in my tournaments. So you don't have to worry about, well, if I buy this board, what if you only approve another one in a year in the future? That'll never happen. I can promise that. Um, when you're buying the board, it's going to ask you left-handed or right-handed orientation. You're going to want to get the left-handed. You could use any of them if you want. I just strongly suggest a left-handed board because let's just go right into it. I'm going to show you how to measure a fish and the measurement requirements. So I'm going to go into, let me see if I can find an event where I know for a fact it had all three fish. So our regional sometimes will have all three fish. Let me go to a slam. What's the last time we had a slam? Right here. So this is why you want to get the left-sided version. Oh, of course, he doesn't. He has the bump and go. All right, this is the left-sided version board from Brandon Hunter. The left-handed version board. So if you're looking at this board from the 0 mark to the 60 mark, if you're looking from the 0 to the 60, the sidewall is on the left-hand side of the board. Our measuring standards, blues and channels must be right side down, left side up, period. It has to be left or right side down, left side up. If you get the left-handed board, the back side of the fish will always be facing the sidewall. If you get the right-sided board, the belly of the fish will be facing the sidewall. That will confuse some anglers, especially new anglers, because if a new angler doesn't remember that, they'll go out onto the leaderboard. They will check, oh, so everyone has the fish's back to the back wall, and they'll do it. But the problem is that ends up being the wrong orientation. So make sure you buy the left-handed board because then you don't have to remember about how the orientation of the fish is. You just always have to remember put the backside of the fish on the sidewall. So blues and channel cats, they all have to be right side down, left side up. Right side down, left side up. I'm going to say this 2 more times. Blues and channels, right side down, left side up. You have to have an identifier in the photo. In this tournament, the identifier, I believe, was J114 right here. You can write it on your hand. You can write it on a piece of paper. As long as it's in the photo somewhere, you're fine. Let me pull. No, actually, the identifier in this tournament was 17. You see how he has his identifier clearly in the photo right here? The nose has to be clearly bumped, and the whole fish has to be in the photo. Those are the only standards. It's really simple. Right side down, left side up, clearly bumped, identifier in the photo, entire fish in the photo. That's all you have to remember. Those are the only standards that we have. Now, for instance, if you submit it, let's say you submit the fish picture like this, that's a full disqualification because you're cutting off the fish. If this was the picture right here as is, even though I can see it bumped, even though I can clearly see where it ends, you are cutting the fish off. Therefore, it is a full disqualification. The entire fish must be in the photo. Not the entire bumper, just the entire fish must be in the photo. That's a channel cat. I'll go show you a blue cat, even though it's the same as X standards. Let me show you a blue cat. Let's see here. We will go to Corey Jeffers. So Corey Jeffers right here, he actually wrote his identifier on his board. He puts a piece of tape, clear tape, on his board, and then he writes with a marker what the identifiers are. And then at the end of those tournaments, he just takes the tape off. That's another great way to do it. It's right side down, left side up. You are allowed to have a hand down to hold them in place. That's perfectly fine. The nose is clearly bumped. I can clearly see the nose is bumped. And then let me go down. The tail's in the picture. And now this is something that I've been very, very strict on this year. I have to clearly be able to tell what quarter-inch mark it's hitting. I don't know how well it's coming through the screen on you guys. I can clearly tell it's touching the 41-inch mark. Therefore, it's 41 inches on the board. If this was just a minuscule, just a hair shorter, I would not have given him 41 inches. Even if it might appear it's touching it, If I think it might be a speck of dirt or a pixelization on the phone, I'm dropping it down a quarter. I've been very consistent on that this year, especially as the slot guys. The slot guys, I have been reducing their score a ton this year. So whatever they are clearly passing, that is a score you get. And then flatheads, because there's a high likelihood of a flathead at this event. Flatheads are the only exception. Flatheads may be measured on their belly, and this is a great example of one. So this one, flathead, it's clearly bumped. They do have an underbite. So if you take a picture and you're a little farther away and I can't really tell if it's bumped, I will use judge's discretion because I understand flatheads have an underbite. If it's egregious, you might get a little bit of reduction. But as long as I can see the whole fish, flatheads may be measured on their belly. We actually ask that you measure flatheads on their belly because of the construction of the fish and how they're made. The identifiers in the photo, and this is the important part about flatheads, and this is a fantastic example. It's the furthest part of the fish that I can physically tell is touching the measuring surface. So you might think this should be scored at 41 or 40 and 3/4 inches because the tail appears as if it's going through passing it. The problem is this is not touching the board. What's clearly touching the board is right here. So this is what he got scored on right here. Did you raise your hand there, Alva?
Just admitting another mistake that I've
Oh,
made in the
oh
tournament.
yeah, yeah. So it's whatever is clearly touching the measuring surface. Flatheads can be more difficult because we all know that they have those vertical tails. So you might have to kind of push their tail down. It is whatever's touching whatever I believe is touching the measuring surface. So you have to
And you
understand.
can't touch the tail to take the picture. Correct.
Correct. You should not be a flathead. You should not be holding the tail down to have the picture. That would be considered you cannot be altering the fish's length in any way when you're taking the picture. If you go back to those blues, remember how we saw the hands on the fish? That's perfectly fine. Let me go back to where we have a hand on the fish. This is perfectly fine because he's just stabilizing the fish. But if he had his hand down here pinching the tail, that's a full disqualification because you're manually manipulating the fish's length at that point. If you pinch the tail before you take the photo and the tail sits natural, hey, more power to you. The fish didn't move. You got lucky. That's great. More power to you. But if you're manually manipulating it during the photo, that is a full disqualification. And honestly, guys, that's how simple it is. Like, where to submit the fish. Let me go back to the tournament. Okay. So if you're like me and you're doing this, go to online catfishing tournaments down here. Every tournament, you made a great point that I go too fast sometimes. If you're on the tournament page and you want to somehow get back to the club, if you scroll down, there'll be a button for our club. You can always click on that button to take you back to the main page. And I'm going to show you guys something that's really, really neat. Is going to save you a ton of time. When you're on the tournament, you're going to have this little cog in the top right. Click this little cog. You're not going to have all these options, but you will have this default view option. In the tournament page, click off on the default view option. That way, every time you close the app and open the app back up, it's going to take you right to that tournament. You don't got to find it every single time you open the app. Right here, where you hit the register button, during the tournament, that's also where the registration button, or that's where the submit catfish button is going to be. And actually, I'll just walk you through a catfish submission. Let me just show you. I'm in a tournament as we speak. So when you are submitting fish, I will go to the Flegel month-long. Actually, let me go to one that's going to be kind of funny. So in the month-long for September, by the way, bank anglers who are getting in this tournament, you have month-long options too. When we'll go, that's for another day. I don't want to go wasting time talking about other stuff. So the view identifier is ready. 10 minutes before the tournament launches for the bank tournament, you'll click on view identifier and you'll see whatever it is. For this particular tournament, it's OZA. So
not our tournament, that tournament.
Yeah, not our tournament. It's this tournament. Our tournament will have a similar identifier, a little inside baseball. Whenever I'm holding multiple events in a month, I always just try and add a letter or two to whatever the current identifiers are. This way, the anglers in other tournaments don't have to make 20 identifiers when they go fishing. So when you go to submit a catch in a tournament, you're going to hit submit catch. Oh, I can't do it on my computer because I don't. That's funny. Well, you're going to have to watch a YouTube video on how to submit a catch. I do apologize. I can't do it in this live because it requires location services, and my computer doesn't have location services turned on, and I don't know how to turn them on on my computer. Well, that's funny. Let me. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to turn off that setting because if I turn it off and forget to turn it on, that can be that can be a big issue. Go to the YouTube page; it will show you how to submit the catch. But I can walk.
It's pretty simple. It's
Yeah,
pretty simple.
I can walk you through it. You hit submit catch. You go to your photo gallery. When you take a picture of your fish, make sure you picture it in your normal camera app. Do not picture it through the Fishing Chaos app. You're going to hit submit catch, go to your photo gallery, grab the picture, and then you're going to type in the length and you're going to hit submit. It's literally that simple. And then it will hit you'll see this entries number go up by 1. And then when you go to the bottom of the tournament, your score will hit there, and then you will see all of your fish. This is a 5-fish tournament, so you don't have to worry about culling your small fish. If you catch 10 fish that day, submit every single one. The app will automatically knock off your small fish. That's another beauty about this tournament. In a weight event, you're there struggling. Oh, which over, which under do I keep? In our tournaments, you catch it, you submit it, keep fishing. Don't think. You don't have to do any thinking whatsoever when it comes to our tournaments.
And just to interrupt real quick, somebody had just messaged me about overs and unders. On link tournaments, you can catch 20 overs. Overs meaning 35 inches. On a weight tournament, legally, we're only allowed to have one 35-inch fish in each species in our live well. On link tournaments, you're not keeping them. So you catch it, you take your pictures, and you're releasing it. You can catch as many as you want over 35. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear.
I am posting a thing in the chat too. I can see the chat, guys. If anyone has any questions, please ask. This is we're going over the event, but also if anyone has to chime in or has a question, always stop us. We do this 1,000 times a year, so sometimes we go a little too quick. So I want everyone to.
You.
Me, okay. Yeah, I tend to go too quick. I do apologize to everyone for that, but it's great always. And I want to thank Alva a ton for this. He's brought to my attention now that he's doing the bank side. He'll be like, in your videos, you might do this too quick, or you might do this, or you might do this. And me, as someone new, I might not be able to follow along. If you have that kind of circumstantial criticism, I need to know, because the only way I can make this better for you is if I know what I do wrong to make your life more difficult. So I need that circumstantial criticism. I welcome it. I accept it. So that's I've had some people say that they might be a little worried too. There's nothing you can say to me that hasn't already been said. Also, if you're giving me advice, I welcome. I'm very coachable. I'm a very coachable individual. The times we have the times figured out. It's going to be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So the way that works is you can, in legal body of waters, you cannot have any lines in the water of any kind from midnight until 8 a.m. You can cast net in Hoover, but you cannot have any kind of fishing lines in the water from midnight to 8 a.m. You could pre-fish the day before, you could chase bait the day before, but you're lucky in Hoover. You got 35 lakes within a 30-minute range that you can go bait fish the morning of if you would like to as well. So you can cast your lines in at 8 a.m. Picture cutoff is 4. Another beauty about our format is if your lines are in the water after 4, it doesn't really matter. So we will sometimes say lines out 4 p.m., but that's not what that means. It means your picture cutoff time is 4 p.m. If you're reeling a fish in at 4 and you picture him at 4:01, the fish does not count. We are not like a boat tournament. If you're actively angling a fish in as the timer crosses, everything's judged off of that timestamp. If that timestamp does not say 3:59:59 or younger or older, that fish will not count. It has to do on when that timestamp is. Now, there's 2 timestamps you're going to see when you submit a fish. There's when you took the picture, and there's when you submitted the fish. So the picture cutoff is 4, but you're allowed up until 5 o'clock to submit the fish. So if you're at the checkout, it's 4:30, and you see somebody submit 3 or 4 fish, and their timestamps are like 4:20 and 4:25. That's the time they submitted it. That's not the time they took it. If they take it after 4, the app won't even let them submit it. So I just wanted to have that out there just in case. Because we actually, was it this year or last year? I can't remember. We had an angler picture a fish with 2 seconds to go in the tournament to win the tournament. But he didn't submit it until 5 minutes after the tournament ended. And some people were like, "Hey, he submitted the winning fish late." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. He took it. He took it legally. He just submitted it 5 minutes after the tournament ended." So
Real
you're
quick on that, just my experience, and this is just from my personal experience, I highly suggest submitting your fish immediately and taking multiple fish. There's or taking multiple pictures of that fish. There's two reasons. Number one, you submit it and it's wrong. And Mike, when he gets a chance to judge that fish throughout the day, you don't want to continue to take pictures of fish and submit them incorrectly. So if you submit it instantly, it gives Mike an opportunity to correct it before you make multiple mistakes and get all your fish DQ. The other thing is taking multiple pictures. You know, fish move, you're excited, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you take, a couple different fish because, for instance, you submit a fish. Mike says, hey, your identifier wasn't completely all the way in the picture. Oh, I got another picture. Let me submit that. You are allowed to do that. So just two suggestions that I had to learn the hard way, but hopefully you don't learn the hard way that way.
And give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull up. I just sent myself a photo. Here's an easy way to organize your fish because every now and then I will be asked. I had caught a million fish today. I don't know how to keep them organized. So can you guys see? I'm pulling up. Where's my StreamYard? Here it is. Okay, so this is my gallery in my personal phone. When I was at Sandusky, every fish I caught, I would take 3 pictures of each fish, and then I would hold my hand in front of the camera. I would take a picture of my hand, and then I knew every time I saw my hand, it was a break before the next fish. See, at Sandusky, this is really important because they all look the same. If I just had these randomly in my phone, I would never be able to tell which fish is which. So every time you catch a fish, take your 3 pictures of it. Take a picture of it doesn't have to be your hand, just take a picture of something that's not the fish. That way there is a picture breaking it up between every single fish. Also, when you go to submit a fish, you can add as many photos to that submission as you want. So when you go to hit add photo, you can add a photo and then you can hit add photo again and you could put 3 submissions on this or 3 photos on the same exact single submission. If there's something wrong with one of the pictures, I can just delete the picture and leave the good ones up. That way you don't have to go back and resubmit a fish. You could put all your fish up at one time and then it's my responsibility to figure out which ones work and which ones aren't working. Okay, there we go. We got that. All right, let me go back in here real quick.
Oh, just to reiterate, you guys can type questions anytime. We will get to them. We want to make sure we uh, we get all the answers, all the questions answered, while lots of people are listening. So if they have the same questions, it's not repetitive.
Yeah, yeah. You can hit me up, Kayak Mike, on Facebook anytime. I opened up the messenger for online catfishing tournaments. Finally, I literally did that today. It just dawned on me I didn't have Messenger open for online catfishing tournaments, so that's open. I can see that. I don't have my notifications on my phone. Message me anytime, day or night. So if a question pops in your head at 1 a.m., send me that message at 1 a.m. because I don't want you to forget what that message is. Um, and then inevitably, cheating. I do have to go over this because in every competition there's ways to cheat, etc. We did get a question from a father who plans on fishing with his daughters about can all 3 sign up, etc. We said yes, absolutely. If they're going to register, though, they have their 3 rods. He has his 3 rods, and then his other daughter will have her 3 rods. So we're relying on the anglers to be honest. You cannot share fish. One registration means you have those 3 rods, and those are your 3 rods for the day. If you're a family going out fishing, our rules are very strict on it's an individual event. The individual has to do everything. However, if you are bringing your child and your child needs help reeling in a 40-pound blue cat, you can absolutely help your child do that. We are not going to not let you help your child. Well, we're not here to push the youth away. We want as many youth as humanly possible. So yes, we will skirt the rules. If you are bringing a child who cannot physically reel in, or if you are bringing a handicapped individual who cannot physically reel in the fish and they want to register and have their 3 rods, you absolutely can help them throughout the process. There's nothing wrong with that. I do ask you do let me know ahead of time, because it is, like I said, it is competition. Somebody 500 yards away might not know your situation, and I might get a call. Hey, there are people here helping each other out. I know they're in a tournament that's against the rules. Then I can tell them they were approved because they have a child, or they're working with a disabled individual, or a veteran who, is all that kind of stuff. So you got to make sure I can easily, protect you as well. It's a two-way street. But we would never not let a youth fish just because they might not have the ability to reel in like, we want to share this experience with as many people as humanly possible.
Well, and the fact is at Hoover, there's a high probability of any one person could catch a really big fish at any given time, anywhere in that water. So I think if I if I hook a 40-pound fish from the bank, somebody's gonna have to probably hold my belt loop.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing on cheating, how do we know people didn't catch these fish down on the Ohio River and just submit it from the Ohio River bank? Now, I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes. I'm not going to zoom in, because this is the part where I need the anglers to trust me. Let me see here. All right, I'm pulling up the last Hoover event where we allowed boats, banks, and kayak anglers to compete against each other. Okay, this isn't giving anything away. On my side, I get to see a heat map from where you took the photo and from where you submitted the photo. This is the last event on Hoover. I'm just going to scroll in a little bit. So as I scroll in, this is Hoover right here. You see how the heat map keeps on getting smaller and smaller and smaller on Hoover. What I do after the tournament, I zoom in all the way onto this heat map and make sure every single one of those dots came from Hoover. That's where you submitted the fish, and that's where you that's where you took the picture, and that's where you submitted the fish from. Um, that's my anti-cheating. No one has access to this but me. Nobody. And I put all my fishing on YouTube. So I'm kind of the perfect administrator I'm not a perfect administrator. I'm the perfect fisherman to have as an administrator, because I put all my fishing on YouTube, and I'm lazy. Like, if you think I'm driving more than an hour to fish, you're out of your mind. So all of your fishing spots are safe with me. No one has access to this. I'm the only administrator who has access to anything behind the scenes. So I do know fishing spots are precious to people, and some people are a little hesitant on competing because they're like, I don't want to give up my fishing spot. With me, they're completely safe. I'm the only person who has access to anything, and this is the closest anyone will ever see as far as fishing spots are concerned. But I do believe in being fully transparent. In the transparent theme, payouts. I'm going to try my best to get these payouts done between Monday and Wednesday the following week of the tournament. A little inside baseball on how the payouts happen. If somebody registers for this tournament on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday morning, it's an ACH transaction. In the banking world, what that means is I'm not getting that money for 3 business days. So anyone who registers on Friday or Saturday, I technically won't have your registration fee until Wednesday morning. This event is only $25, so I could probably front, just so everyone has a great experience. I'll probably front whatever the cost is for this one on Monday or Tuesday, just so everyone can see how it works. But in full transparency, in the future, payouts are typically the following Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I did a really bad job at telling everyone that at the beginning of the year. This year, I got a lot of messages from a lot of new anglers who cashed out, and I did actually kind of feel bad, because I was like, oh yeah, you guys are new, you don't know that. That's maybe the only real downfall we have in online is there is a delay in payouts, and there's nothing I can really do about it unless I'm free on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, because when we were small and only doing 1 or 2 tournaments a month, it was whatever. But now that we're bigger and I pay out 7 to 10 grand a month, give or take. I can't front 7 to 10 grand throughout the month. Yeah, I wish I could, but I can't. And I have a flawless record. I have been late in 5 years. I've been late on 3 or 4 payouts ever. And that's just because I'm human. I've hosted 250 tournaments. I think that's a relatively good record. Um, so I don't think I have a reputation for being bad at payouts, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe people just aren't telling me.
I'm sure
Yes.
you'd know. You'd know.
So each family member has to be on registered. Correct. So if you and your 2 daughters are fishing and all 3 of you are competing against each other, all 3 of them have to have their own profile. You cannot submit the same. You cannot submit, like, if I have 2 daughters, I cannot catch a fish and submit it to my daughter's profile. She has to submit it. Um, I can see it maybe being difficult if your children don't have smartphones and don't have the app themselves. I mean, my daughter's 6 and she has a dang cell phone, so they're probably more, phone smart than we are, to be honest. But he, I can see that being an issue. Let's say you do have a small family and you're all fishing. You will have to log out of like, let's say you're all sharing one device. You're going to have to log out of yours. They'll have to log into theirs, submit theirs. And then if you're using one device, you'll have to continually do that. So I can see that being maybe kind of cumbersome, but I want to see a kid. I'd be honest. I'm rooting for a youth to win.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna be in Missouri, like, just praying a female youth wins. I would be so happy.
Yeah,
As the administrator, I'm not supposed to be biased, but I want a female youth to win. That would be so cool.
yeah.
Uh,
And who can be mad at that? Seriously, who can
yeah,
be mad?
yeah,
Who can be
yeah.
mad?
We are seen as a very great reputation of being very inclusive, and actually to a fault. We actually sometimes get, you know, trash talked by the boat world. Oh, they're too nice. They talk too much. They're too inclusive. They're too helpful. But hey, if that's the reputation that we're gonna have, I can live with that.
Well, that's what drew me into this so much is being so welcomed, and lots of anglers willing to help, even though there's a competitive part to it. And, don't get me wrong, you're probably not going to get the secret bait the day of the tournament from anybody, but right after the tournament, most of us will tell you exactly what we did.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a yeah, it's just a great community. I
Yeah.
can't stress it enough.
Well, Lord
Um,
knows we're not in it for the money. It's not like it's a ton of money. It's the experience, the community, you know, um, again, the ego, bragging rights, however you want to put it. The money is nice, but if everybody's like me, it goes right back into fishing. So,
the Sambucas, is that the post event checkout?
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up real quick right here because we're getting towards the end. All right, so everyone can see. This is Hoover right here. This red pin is Sambucas. I'm gonna zoom in on it. The address you might not be able to see is 577 Walnut Street, Galena, Ohio, or Galena. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Karina.
43021. And this will be the checkout. You don't have to be there by a certain time. It's not like the National Trail. You technically don't even have to go, even though we want every single person there. But yeah, once line's out at 4, if you can make your way over there, all the anglers are going to be hanging out. Alva will be there talking. That's where they'll be doing the raffles and stuff. And yeah,
All the giveaways.
and
All the
all the
giveaways.
giveaways and all that stuff. Uh, can you use a kayak to get to a bank spot and then set up? So the answer to that for this event is no, because this is truly a bank event. If you're fishing in a kayak tournament, that is. Let me leave this question up actually. If you're fishing in a kayak tournament, this would be legal because we allow bank fishing in kayak only events, but you have to get there by kayak and your kayak has to be the rod holder. In this tournament, this is purely a bank tournament only. It has to be by vehicle and then foot. You cannot get to your bank fishing location by a watercraft, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of a bank fishing tournament. Because you get the luxury because there's Hoover is tough. Like this time of year, it's fantastic bank fishing. Don't get me wrong, but it's still, I would argue, what 70% unattainable.
Oh,
Other,
right now it's more like 100% accessible.
it really okay.
Oh, I
So
was there yesterday, and there's not a spot that I saw where you couldn't. I mean, you physically could walk around the entire reservoir right now.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, forget that I mentioned that it might not, but that we can't allow watercrafting to a spot in a bank fishing event. Um, that thank you for the question. That's very appreciated because some people might not have known that. They might have just thought bank bank fishing only, and like that's a fair question. If I hear bank fishing only and I have a kayak or a boat, if I drive to that spot and I bank fish, I might think I'm legal. But no, the spirit of this is where you can drive up to park and walk to your fishing location.
Yeah. And again, the reason for the timing
Oh,
of this
oh
is
my,
because of how accessible. So,
I'm so sorry.
what are we laughing?
Do you see the bottom scroll? So when I did the live for Rising Sun,
I was
I,
wondering what that was. I couldn't read it though.
that's the final standings of the Rising Sun tournament.
Oh, gotcha.
That's been
Okay.
going the whole time.
Yeah, I saw it earlier. I'm like, what? Is that some kind of advertisement? But I don't have my glasses on. So
Brother, I don't think I've ever done one of these like flawlessly front to back. That
it
is too
wouldn't be any
funny.
fun if it was flawless.
Yeah, jeez. All right, man. Well, I think we covered about everything.
I
That
thought I
was.
saw another question scroll across. Did you
Let's
get
see
them all?
here. Um. Yep. Nope. I got them. The ones that I can see, I got them.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Well,
one, I don't think I posted this one up on the screen, but we did answer this one.
okay. Um, well, you, I think you covered everything. Since I'm so new at this, only 1 year into it, a lot of the questions are still fresh in my mind, and everything that I remember wondering, you pretty much covered. So,
Hmm.
obviously, feel free to message myself or Kayak at any time, like he said. Um, Mike's awesome at responding. I try. I mean, I'm on Facebook multiple times a day. Um, to my detriment, my wife probably hates it, but I like to be involved and I like to be responsive. So that keeps everybody engaged.
Hmm.
Um, so just to kind of wrap up a little bit, this is 100% payout. So every dime that I'm getting is going back into the tournament, every single dime, along with a little bit of my own money for incidentals, which is, well worth it. Um, the payouts are going to be 60% for first place, 30% for second, 10% for third. So three places in the link tournament. The largest fish is 100%. So if there's, if we collect $100, the person with the longest fish gets $100. Um, Mike had mentioned about Micah Burkhart's contribution. I decided to use part of that money to juice the pot a little bit. So $300 is going to go to the actual pot. So that'll be divided up in the same percentages and just added to the pot. So if we have 1,000, it'll now be 1,300, if that makes sense. So again, thanks Micah Burkhardt for that money. Um, we are doing a bank and boat tournament this Sunday. Bank and boat only. I'm inviting everyone, and it's always open to the public. But those new to the scene,
Oh, wait,
if
hold on.
you
This Sunday is there's a weighing event which is boat only with a live well, and then there's a length series event which is bank or kayak. But if you're a bank angler and you want to get in this one this weekend, you do have to be a member. You do have to be a
right,
member, and
yeah.
yes, that's the
Sorry,
only
I
catch about
overlooked the
this.
bank part.
Yeah, that's the only catch about this weekend is if you want to if you do want to compete in the length series, you got to remember you're competing against boaters and kayak anglers, and you do have to have a membership. But go on, sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
want to.
yeah. Well, the point is there's going to be a lot of guys that's been competing. It's all the regular guys mostly. We do each time we have a few new ones, which is awesome. Um, I will be. bringing my musky board. I'll be demonstrating how to measure fish properly. So if you have any questions, you can come to that. That's going to be at 4:30 at Oxbow. Obviously, you'll see all the boat guys that are in the weight division. See how we perform that day as far as size of fish and that kind of thing. It's honestly a very cool thing if you've never seen a weigh in. It's it's pretty remarkable what Hoover has to provide as far as quality of fish.
Hmm.
I know you guys see a lot of it on the Facebook pages, but to see it in person, no, no comparison. But obviously, I'll be there to answer questions as well. So that's going to be at 4:30 Sunday afternoon.
Got it.
Um, One thing that I do want to mention, we are in conjunction with our tournament every year. Hoover residents have an annual Hoover cleanup. We all know as anglers, specifically as boat fish or bank fishermen, unfortunately, we have some bank fishermen that aren't responsible and don't pick up after themselves. In this tournament, we are urging and also incentivizing people as you're fishing, pick up trash. I know it's not yours, pick up trash. When you're submitting your fish and you picked up a bag of trash, submit that picture of trash that you picked. Don't bring a bag of trash from home. Literally make the effort to pick it up off the bag that if you see it, pick it up, please. I'm going to there's going to be a giveaway for everybody that submits a picture of trash or multiple bags of trash, whatever. We need to do our part in conservation and cleanup.
And details on how to submit those pictures of that trash, I'm gonna make a special video for that. So you don't have to worry about that right now, but it'll be on the same tournament, the same app, same everything. So I will
Right.
explain how to do that in a separate video.
And honestly, I've talked to homeowners that have property on Hoover multiple times about bank fishing and accessibility to on their property. And their number one thing is the trash. And if the community sees that we as bank fishing anglers, anglers in general, are doing our part to clean up, eventually that bad reputation will subside. And it will open up potentially other areas to get to for bank guys. So
Hmm.
we need to do our part in the cleanup. As far
Also,
as seeing, I'm
it'll
sorry, go ahead.
it'll be great for our reputation if every tournament
Absolutely.
we come and we pick up trash and we show them all the trash we got it. They're gonna be like, oh, we love when these tournament guys come because
Yeah, and
they clean up our stuff.
I contacted the Columbus Watershed Division, which is in charge of the annual cleanup that they're doing at Hoover on the 27th. Made him aware, and I've got his personal cell phone number. He says, if anybody sees overloaded trash containers, if you've got, as long as we're piling it around, get a hold of me. I call him. He has a truck come out immediately and get that cleaned up so we can continue to get things cleaned up, obviously.
That's awesome.
So pretty cool. Um,
And it gives your
last,
kids something to do. We all know how
right,
kids we're catfishing. You might have an hour or three between bites. If your kids are getting a little antsy and their phone's boring them, hey, get a
right.
trash bag and tell them to go grab trash along the bank.
And like I said, I'm giving, if you submit, show that you're doing your part, I've got stuff to give you. So um, honestly, we shouldn't have to incentivize, but that's where we're at, unfortunately. Not saying you specifically, but in general. So
Mhm.
I think the last thing I have is the Sambuca meeting place, just to reiterate. Um, Jeff at Sambuca has opened his facility to us as a group of anglers to do our giveaways. Um, Lots of parking, be respectful. Yeah, obviously is open for business. But we'll be doing all of the giveaways, the kayak raffle, the announcements of the winners and their links. I've got a lot of stuff to give away. It's been kind of fun because I get to spend somebody else's money on fishing stuff. Unfortunately, it's not for me. I'm doing purchases that are specifically to help bank anglers. Um, Two of the five butt boards that Mike has donated are actually gonna be raffled off. Again, it's not a pay raffle. It's just I'm putting all the participants in a raffle with their name and whatever in a jar. We'll draw it. So everybody that participates is eligible for all the giveaways. But two of those boards are going to be given away. The other three will be loaners that the bank division is going to keep for future bank tournaments. My hopes is to have multiple of these. I believe that we're going to have a great turnout. We're going to build momentum, and it's just good for the community. I've got a lot of ideas to expand it. So if you're not already a friend request me, message me, follow me, whatever. Everything that I post, I also post on my personal page. So you're more than welcome to send me friend requests and whatever. Um, Outside of that, I think that's it.
I think we're good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna. I just real quick, literally while you were talking, if you saw me busy, I was just busting out the pay scale here real quick. So we're at 16 anglers at the moment. At 60, 30, 10 percent, that would be 192 to first, 96 to second, 32 to third. If you guys are interested in just looking
You forgot
down,
to add the 300.
this is pre-addition.
Oh,
This
okay,
is base.
okay.
Yeah, this is pre-addition. This is just the base. So if we can, like, let's just say if we can double those numbers, we're looking at 384 to first, 192 to second, 64 to third. I mean, that's awesome,
Well, to reintegrate this,
especially for a $25 tournament.
right.
Oh wait,
Well,
someone, you got a fan? Hold on. Where'd you get that shirt?
oh,
What is it?
one of
Was
my
it
daughters. I don't know if you can see it.
Real Cool Dad? Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, thanks, daughter. I'm not going to mention which one. If she's watching, she knows.
Oh, oh, so a daughter made that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a custom made shirt from his daughter. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Um, and it rings true. I don't fish, I catch.
That's awesome.
I forgot, I lost my train of thought.
We were just talking about the payouts.
Oh, well, I'm sure I'll remember and I'll post it. But
Yeah.
obviously, I apologize if I post too much. But I don't apologize because I want as many people involved. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So I had like 87 people that were interested. I only got 16 people. My personal goal
Well,
before I even started this,
we're still a week out.
well, I know, but my personal goal was 30. And honestly, I set the bar kind of low because I knew it was obtainable. At 87 people, I should have 50.
That would be
So
awesome.
spread the word. Let's get everybody involved. The more money, the bigger the event, the more money comes in, and it's just good for, the more trash that gets picked up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is a huge thing for me.
That is huge.
Conservation is super important, super important. So
On that note, we are coming up on the hour mark. So a little inside baseball for people about YouTube and stuff. There's certain numbers. If you go past certain numbers, it pushes you into certain algorithms. We're at 59 minutes on the nose right now. We want to be under an hour. So I'm going to cut this now. We hit about everything we needed to, though.
I think so.
We're going to do more videos. So if you see this video was like 59 minutes and you think it's too long, just pay attention. And also watch the first 10 minutes. The majority of the stuff you need to know for the physical tournament itself will be in there. But without further ado, before we lose to the clock, That's Alva Jones, your tournament director. I'm the behind the scenes guy, Kayak Mike. Hit either of us up for any questions. And yeah, Kayak Mike out of here. Alva, sign yourself off, and then I'll close this.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.